Okay, Captain's Log number 9. Um, there's resistance, right? And there's resistance to me doing the work, me feeling overwhelmed by the work, and it's just like a bunch of pieces. I feel like I bought IKEA furniture, and I know there's a bunch of pieces, I know there's an instruction manual, but I have to be the one to put it together, and I have to kind of figure it out. And I feel, it's funny how we always feel rushed to put the furniture together when it's like, if it takes you 6 days, it does, you know? But wouldn't you rather it be like sturdy and not fall apart? Or like do the whole thing and find out that you're like missing, you have like an extra screw and you're like, uh-oh. Yeah. And then there's also resistance of other people feeling the energy that you feeling and producing things, and you're not quite sure how to set the boundary yet so that the energy is focused. And wanting to give my energy to other people, because that's what I'm used to doing. When actually it's like, no, I need that energy. I need that focus for me. And I know there's nothing here built yet for you to see what I'm doing. So it's easy for you to misunderstand where I'm at. And to be okay with that, right? In prosperity consciousness, he talks about when you're selling things to just be okay with that pregnant pause when someone's considering buying something. Like being okay with silence and not caving in to the pressure of them deciding, right? Because you set your price and sometimes you're like, oh my God, it's just too high. They're not gonna buy this. That's not how it works. Like, you say this is your price, and then they either want to buy it or not. And sometimes the longer you wait, the more valuable they make it to be. And their diagnosis of what is valuable about it is part of what is feedback for your price. Or it's feedback for your audience. Like maybe that's not the audience for you. So, but I'm learning that in a very like visceral way. Also listen to a halfway listened. Like I listened attentively, but I only got halfway through a sermon about Zacchaeus, this short little dude who climbed a tree to see Jesus, and Jesus stopped under that tree, and the speaker was making the point that so many times we're climbing a tree to be seen, or hoping, that we're not. Well, he said, come down from that tree, right? And so it's like sometimes we have to come down from like our lofty goals, our lofty expectations. And just kind of come to grips with the reality that sometimes people want to be with us. Sometimes God just wants to be with us, and we don't have to be performing and performing and performing. And, performing is a part of my identity, but it can be a part of it. And I want to be authentic. So, and I can perform authentically. I can perform because I really just want to perform, right? And I can, when I perform, I can be I want to be as authentic to this idea as possible. And even in what I'm building here, right, with this channel, which is mostly just kind of a diary, and I'm leaving it vague because I'm trying to be helpful with the ideas. I want people to walk away with oh, I see that idea. Actually, I just want to express myself. I just want to get it out. So what I'm expressing is that I'm not perfect at it. And I know there's room to grow, and I'm okay with that. And I know that by continually doing it, I'm going to find ways that I'm not good at it. And that's okay, because then I'll find ways to be good at it, because I'll pinpoint my weakness. And I'll get comfortable with pinpointing my weaknesses. And one of those weaknesses is thinking that I have to be one thing, or that I have to be something for someone else. And I don't have to do that, especially not now. YouTube, you're watching, thank you. So I don't have to perform. I don't have to build something as another mechanism of protection, but I can build something as a means of connection, or a means of movement, as a means of multiplying the great things about myself, in hopes that it will spread and it will nourish other people, and bring peace or joy or love or light or whatever, or even just oh, he's a mess, but he's doing it. So why not me? Why not me? That's what's next. Why not me? Why is it that I feel I have to perform for other people? Because I think sometimes we feel like if we were real, it wouldn't actually happen for us. But why not? Why not do the work? Why not be ready for good things to come and stay? And sit in that silence and accept their exception of the bid, or accept their rejection of the bid as nothing personal, just they're not shopping for that right now. And then I can make up whatever story I want about that. Or I can be curious about what the reality is. And the reality is, I need to be focused on my work. And the reality is that my work is more than just my job, or my career, or my profession. That my work is multiple professions over a course of a lifetime. And that's very human. It's very much a reality. And I don't need to justify it with anyone. Yeah.